What's up, guys? Y'all, it is Wednesday morning. I'm on my way to an interview, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to vlog while I'm driving because Shane's car is set up so different than the Cadillac. Um, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna be able to vlog and drive like I normally do. I let my other son keep the car because his car is down, so I let him keep the car, which his car is probably gonna be permanently down. So he has to get a car, but he's not going to keep my car. Okay, so I'm using the GPS on my phone to get to my interview, and it's not for another hour because it's only 10 o'clock now. My interview starts at 11, but I think it only takes me 30 minutes to get there. Do y'all look at this? So he has this thing that goes across right there. Let's see if y'all can fit right here. But it looks like I'm sliding and you can barely see me. Alright guys, I just finished with the interview. We started a little late. It's 12:11. The interview went about an hour. I don't think it was a good interview. I just wasn't there mentally. I promise you, I was not there. But the interview lasted about an hour. Let me tell you how bad this interview started off. First of all, I got to the location and I didn't have the guy's first name. I just had his last name, which did not help. So after I gave the security his last name, they were like, oh, we have a lot of people like that. The recruiter that actually contacted me, hold on guys, let me try to get out of here. The recruiter that actually contacted me for the position and set up the interview did not forward me the information. Nobody can get off this parking deck, and I knew it. Okay, so what happened was when I first came in, hold on y'all. Everybody's stuck in there trying to get around the trying to get out the thing. It's not letting nobody out. So anyway, back to what I was saying, y'all. Let me tell you how bad this went. So security was like, we have several people by that name. I was like, oh my God. So the recruiter did not forward me the address. I just happened to know the address because of the area. He did not give me the details that I needed, like the first name, the last name, the address. I knew what time I was supposed to meet, and I knew the person's last name. I didn't take any of the information down because I was driving, and I said, please make sure that you email me the information. And they did not. And then I got there 20 minutes early, struggled with finding a parking space. Parking deck did not give out tickets, it just let me in. Got there, kept calling recruiter, trying to confirm the person's first name so security could reach out to him. Had to wind up calling another recruiter in the company that I talked to like years ago. They were still there. Luckily, they knew that person. That person was like, oh yeah, tell her this person. While I'm in the interview, my lawyers contacted me. I'm like, oh my God, this is, yeah. So, I don't know. But I'm not going to be able to hold this camera up and drive. So I'll talk to y'all when I get to the house. What's up, guys? I am home. And I changed out of my interviewing attire. And I am relaxed. Y'all, these darn ice cream bars are so good. These Magnum. And I always eat the double caramel one. Oh my goodness. I'm so happy right now. I'm in heaven. Let me eat this. Because I can't share. And I don't want to eat on camera. You know. I'll be right back, y'all. I got to tell y'all something. What's up, guys? That was so good. Y'all don't have any idea how good that was. Alright. So, before I left, I said I wanted to talk to y'all about some things. And I do. I got a couple of things I want to talk about. Oh, did I tell y'all how the interview went? I don't remember. I don't recall. But if I didn't, let me just tell y'all. I think the interview went okay. Yeah, I think it just went okay. I don't know. You know how sometimes you think an interview went really good and then you don't get a call, or you think it went really bad and you get a call? To be honest, I wasn't really mentally there at the interview, so I really wasn't mentally there. I kept getting a call from my attorney, and that kind of took me out of my headspace. While I was waiting for the interviewer, I got a call from my attorney that I couldn't return the call until after the interview, which was like driving me crazy because I'm in my head like, I wonder what she want, 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 I wonder what's going on. So let me explain why I have an attorney and why that call kind of threw me out of mode as far as being in the interview. For those of you who don't know, I am currently unemployed. I've been unemployed since September the 7th. Yeah, my last day was September the 7th. I resigned my job that I was on for 4 years. I actually loved what I did, and I had passion for what I did. I didn't like who I was working for, and that was the problem. And I'm not talking about the organization as a whole. I'm talking about my direct supervisor. Um, she was very passive aggressive. She was retaliatory. I would walk away from interactions with her feeling very offended, and like I needed to let her know that she was offensive in a lot of her chosen communication style with me. And I'll just give you one example. There was one point in time where um, she told me that I should move to a certain area in San Diego that, for lack of a better word, is known for a lot of racist people being in that area. And she said, you know what? You would make a good example. You should move there and be, you can move there and be an example. Move where and be an example. She said, yeah, you can move there and be an example. And I said, well, she said, oh, I know about the negative stigma. And it's from the 60s. And yes, we still have pocketed areas that's troubled. But, I think you would be a good example. I don't know how your children act, but if, they go down there looking for trouble, they'll find it, because we still have areas, we still have pocketed areas that's troubled with skinheads. You don't tell me to go to an area that's known for racist activities so I can be an example. One better than that. You don't tell me to go into people's comfort zones so they can understand that all minorities do not act the same. And let me just take that back. Not all minorities, all African American women. Because I guess that's who she wanted me to represent. But I can't represent all African American women. I can only represent me, who I happen to be African American. There were other things that, she was doing, and I started reporting her to HR. Well, let me just say this. I didn't report her to HR. Me and her had a meeting with an HR rep there, and I guess she didn't like it, so she lied to put me on a final. Then there was other things that were done, and I kept documentation. I kept email. I went on leave. She contacted me while I was on leave, medical leave, FMLA leave. And she kept contacting me about work-related stuff. I called. I told him, I said, look, she's contacting me. I went back to work. I told the VP of the hospital I was in that I was going to the ELC because of her chosen behavior. Nothing was done. The ending of my resignation letter stated, I have no choice or other options but to resign because she is attempting to facilitate a constructed termination. Okay. That word constructive termination, lawyers will use in wrongful termination litigations. I knew that, and that's why I put it there. Because nothing was done. With everything I was reporting, nothing was ever done. So I left. I said, you know what, I'm not going to sell my soul for $1. It's not worth it. I'm going to snap. I'm going to have a case, and this lady, she's not worth it. I refuse to let her have that control over me. My mental, emotional, and spiritual being, I refuse to let her have control over. I went to the ELC the 21st of September. They gave me a right to sue, and the violation was the Discrimination Act of 1974, which covers everything. It covers age, religion, color, race, gender, it covers everything. Disability, it covers everything. So I then took that right to sue letter to an attorney, and my attorney is handling it. Now, when I went to the EOC and to my attorney, I did not go saying I think, I feel, I believe. I did not say that at all. I said, let me show you what was done. This is all my documentation, y'all. My life's philosophy saying is documentation beats conversation every time. This is emails, copies of text messages. This is my performance evaluations, which were always stellar until she decided to retaliate. Then she put me on the final line to do that. The final was very vague. It was just a mess. I was like, okay, you keep on. She told me, after she put me on the final, she said, you thought about quitting? Yeah, I got you on the final. You're not going to be able to find no job nowhere. And in the same conversation, while I was attempting to hire, some employees for my department, she said, I'm not a very confrontational person, but can you not hire street people? Because I just think they're just aggressive. What my boss does, she will verbally have a conversation with you. And then if you hold her accountable for that conversation or her choice style of communication with you, she then says, I don't recall. I didn't say that. This is what I meant. So in order she wouldn't play the avoidance game with me, I did it the corporate way. When we disconnected the phone, I emailed her and I said, per our conversation, because this is my way of holding you accountable. I'm going to get right back with y'all because she's long-winded and this can be a minute. So I'm going to get right back. I'm back. And me and my associate just got the phone and we've been on the phone actually almost 2 hours. So that's why I said, let me get back with y'all. But what was we talking about before? We were talking about my job and why I'm no longer there. I worked at a hospital. I was a supervising manager of a 24/7 communication center. And I left my job due to retaliation, discrimination. And it was just too much. Because of the things I experienced and was subjected to, I went to the EOC. And when I went to the EOC, I didn't go saying, this is what I think, this is what I feel, and this is what I believe. I said, take a look at this. Now with the documentation that I have, because I believe, again, documentation beats conversation 100% of the time, they gave me what is called a right to sue letter. Now anything I'm telling you, you can look up, you can Google it. With the right to sue letter, I took that to an attorney, an employment attorney. When I went to the employment attorney, I had the right to sue letter from the EOC, and I went to them and said, here's my right to sue letter, and this is what happened to me on my job. I didn't say, this is what I think, this is what I feel, this is what I believe. I said, here's the right to sue letter, along with the documentation. And that's where we're at right now. Listen, my baby, yeah, that's my grandbaby. He coming out. Hi, baby. What are you doing? How you gonna come in saying me getting in the stuff? Hi, baby. Mimi. Hi, baby. Y'all look at him. He did to my mirror. Look, and he always come in here and go for that part right there. Look at my mirror. Who did this? The baby? Stop, baby. Stop, baby. Get out. Give me kisses. Give me kisses. Okay, get out then. Go throw that in the trash. Go throw that in the trash. Again, that's what we're waiting for. We should hear something next week. But being that the VP of the legal department for the organization has gotten involved, yeah. But like I said, documentation beats conversation. So what they told me is they're going to go over to the campus that I worked at, and they're going to talk to, I guess, the people that were directly involved. But how can you explain away emails? How? How, Sway? How? How are you going to explain? How, Sway? Anyway, I talk about this to say this. I did a video called Make America Great Again, and I referenced Donald Trump and a lot of things that has gone on in America in the past. and how Donald Trump ideologies actually match back then. Um, his thought process and how he handles things he's very racially biased. And I had a comment in the comment said, "Well, I wish you wouldn't have made it a black and white thing. I wish I didn't have to make it a black and white thing." And my experience in America as a black woman, as a mother of black men, as a black and white thing. The way I raise my sons is make sure you know your rights, because if you don't, you forfeit your rights. Make sure when you have an interaction with the police, make sure you don't make any sudden moves. Make sure you carry yourself to where you're representing yourself to the fullest. Um, when you encounter a police officer, make sure you make eye contact. Don't make any sudden movements with your hands. Stand up straight, head held high. Make sure you speak clearly. And this is how I've had to raise my sons in America. This is how I've had to raise my sons in America. Now, mind you, there are a lot of occasions where me and my children lived in predominantly Caucasian areas. So when the comment came across and said, "I wish you didn't have to make it a black and white thing," sis, I wish I didn't have to make it a black and white thing too. I would love for my grandbaby and his children and his children's children not to ever have to reference a black and a white thing. That we learn from our mistakes, we grow from our mistakes, and we heal from those mistakes. And it doesn't have to be a black and a white thing. That we could truly live as a people and be judged by the content of our character and not by the color of our skin. We're not quite there yet. We have gained ground. Yes, we have. We have gained ground tremendously, but we're not quite healed yet. There are scabs that are still there that can be torn off and still bleed. You know how you have that scab that's healing and you can tear it off and it'll bleed? We're at the scabbing part. But at least we're at the scabbing part. I left my job. I had to leave my job because there's an email in here that says, there's an email in here I have currently that says, "Don't hire street people." So racial bias still exists, sis. I wish it didn't. You know why I wish it didn't? Because then I wouldn't be subjected to it. My children wouldn't be subjected to it. We wouldn't be judged by it. That's why I wish it didn't exist. But it still does. Not as much. We've made tremendous ground. But it still does exist. Alright guys, I will talk to you guys later. I'll let y'all know if I got the job. My head wasn't in the interview, so I mean, I think the interview didn't go really good. But again, we stayed in there an hour, so you know, maybe it went better than I thought, but my head really wasn't in it. I'll talk to you later. My grandson just got here. It's Wednesday. He stays here until 9, and I'm going to go enjoy the time with him. Bye, guys. Oh, thumbs up, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.